What up, YouTube? It's your boy JusRzd, and today it's another edition of Rage Reviews. You already know what time it is. You know we have to chop it up about Agatha All Along, episode 7. Is this episode 7? I believe it's episode 7. Anyway, it's finna be episode 7 for it. At this point, it's finna be episode 7. Yeah, it's gotta be episode 7 because episode 5 was when they revealed Billy, and then episode 6 was his backstory. So this is the episode right after that. So episode 7. So I was right. Anyway, this episode was trippy as a mug, but also dope in a sense of the way it was shot and constructed. This particular episode was Lily's trial. Lily is the witch in the group that does tarot card readings, and the way this episode was set up was very, very interesting. We got some big reveals, and we got her like backstory in an interesting way. It was actually kind of dope. Like the whole thread for her was like time is an illusion, and time for her has always been out of order. So like even once she started her training as in tarot in her original coven, she's been like slipping through time slowly but surely. Like she'll come to train one day having seen visions of the future, and her teacher will ask her, well, where are you at now? Are you my pupil, or how long have you been around? And it was just interesting to see. It was sometimes she would go in there like, I've been around for a few centuries, and she was like, okay. And then sometimes when she would be popping in and out. It was interesting because we saw her as a little girl talking to her teacher, and we saw the teacher just kind of keeping it 100 with her. And she was just like, we're doing this specific exercise. I think she called it the teacups or something like that. And she was just like, oh, this is gonna be terrible. I was never good at this. And she was just like, why were you never good? Is this a lie that you told yourself? Like it was interesting the way that they put different pieces in place and how they like really kind of played with that plot device. Like I like the way they kind of did that. Like it was actually kind of dope the way they structured it, because we were like slipping through time the whole episode was almost like it was from her perspective, and so we got to slip through time with her. Like it started, of course, with Billy and I was about to say Billy and Wanda. It started with Billy and Agatha making their way down the road, and then they make it to the next trial. The next trial looks like a giant castle, and the road to the giant castle is full of yellow leaves. And it was just the whole theme of this particular trial, because every time they go into a new trial, it's a different themed environment. This particular theme was like Disney witches. Like it was like a Wizard of Oz theme, but everybody was dressed up as like we had Agatha as the Wicked Witch of the West. We had Lily dressed up as Glinda the Good Witch. We had the Black Witch. That feels wrong calling her the Black Witch, but I don't remember her name. But we had her dressed up like the witch in Snow White when she was trying to deceive Snow White, as she was dressed up as the old lady. And then we had Billy dressed up as Maleficent. And so Agatha and Billy are in there just trying to figure everything out. Billy, a super novice when it comes to tarot card readings. The whole trial is based on tarot card readings, and it has something to do with time. So as soon as Billy picks up the cards, the time starts, the trial starts, and the more he's going through the process, Agatha thinks tarot cards are a complete scam, and the whole time he's going through the process, every time he's laying down an incorrect card, a sword falls from the ceiling. So as the swords are falling from the ceiling, because he don't know what he's doing, he's just like, oh shoot, what's happening? And they get to a point where he gets to the end because Agatha snatches the deck from him and just starts throwing stuff down. Because she was like, it's all a scam anyway, so let's just So she just starts throwing cards down, and through that process of her doing that, she ends up triggering another mechanism in that particular trial, where not only are swords falling from the ground, but the ceiling is also coming down as well, and still has a bunch of swords in it. So they're about to get crushed if they don't hurry up and figure out what's going on. And then we see Billy kind of just have just a random thought just pop in his head, like, man, I wish Lily was here. And as soon as he said that, we get pretty much snapped into Lily's perspective of everything that's going on. She's waking up like in her body as she's walking along some tunnel, and it's her and the Black Witch. I just feel weird saying that, but I don't remember her name, but forgive me. We see them two walking through the tunnel, because of course Billy threw them in some mud. They fell through the mud into the tunnel, and so they're walking through the tunnel, and we see that the Black Witch is super informed on everything that's going on, because Lily actually informed her of all the information. And the Black Witch you can tell she's getting a little annoyed with Lily, because she's seeming a little more aloof and ditzy than usual. And we kind of start the process of slipping through time with Lily, and we see all her random outbursts in the different episodes were actually all connected to this actual event. And you could tell it was just weird, because it was like you could tell just how smoothly everything was connected for her, even though it was shattered and scattered in each episode, and none of it made sense until this episode. So it was dope the way they strung all that together. Like, this low-key might be my favorite episode just because of how they did that. Like, that was dope. That was because they've been setting this up from episode 1. Just every single outburst she's had, where she's like snapping in and out of reality, has led her to this moment, and led her to this this moment in time and this moment in her life. And it's just interesting to see it all play out. She has visions of her falling. You just see her falling in darkness, and they end up avoiding, her and the Black Witch end up, later on in the episode we see that her and the Black Witch avoided the Salem 7 when they were in the tunnel. It looks like they found a way to exit the Witch's Road, but they also found a way to keep going down the Witch's Road, so they took that path. And you could just tell that they were maneuvering through just everything. They end up getting to a path. They end up finding the bookshelf that they needed to find, because they were looking for a bookshelf, because Lily said that, hey, we need to find a bookshelf. The reason why they needed to find the bookshelf is because the bookshelf was the back door into the trial with Agatha and Billy. And they knew they had to go help them, because this trial was specifically for Lily. And so she gets in there. Of course, she gets in there. Once she gets in there, she slips in and out of time again, and wakes up with Agatha on top of her. And she's like, yo, what's happening? Get off me. She was like, yo, I just saved your life. You almost got killed. And so then she's looking at the spread, and she was like, well, wait a minute. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? So then we started another journey of her slipping through time, and we see her just at different events and different times. We see in, I want to say, episode 3 or 4. No, it had to be episode 3 because it was the first trial, where she says, try to save Agatha. That was actually a separate message where she was speaking to one of the witches that ended up passing away in a later episode after Agatha drained her of all her power. She was actually telling her, I want to say the girl's name is Charlie, but I'm not sure if her name is Charlie. But she was trying to tell her, don't try to save Agatha, because if she tries to save Agatha, Agatha's going to actually steal all her magic. And so she was trying to warn her, but because she was slipping through time at different moments, the message got fragmented between different instances and different episodes. it was dope the way it was strung together. Like it sounds weird to try to explain it, but the way they strung it together was just like, it was chef's kiss. Like, it was dope. It was dope. Like, we really went on a journey this particular episode, and we really got to see just how her life has been, like, from childhood to now, just slipping in and out of time. And it was a dope experience, because I've never seen it portrayed that way. Like, that was dope to me. Yeah, that was dope to me. I can't, I ain't even got nothing to say in regards to it. Like, that particular part of this particular episode was super, super, super dope to me. We finally get them into the trial. She ends up solving the trial, because at first she thought the trial was about Billy, and it was for him, but actually the trial is for her. So instead of doing a tarot card reading for Billy, she actually has to do one for herself. So she does one for herself, and you can see all these different moments in different episodes that she's remembering that coincide to the reading that she's doing in the moment. And so she's able to solve it right before they die. Well, right before they get unalived and get crushed. And she ends up solving it, and the last card that she ends up playing is Death, and that's when the big reveal that Aubrey Plaza's character is actually Death, the cosmic entity Death. And so we get to the entity Death, I mean. So we get to get that reveal. We see her in her, I guess, her normal garb, or at least the garb that's on the card. And that was an interesting reveal, and that also explains why we haven't seen Rio since the Agatha trial. So that was interesting. And so she unlocks everything. She passes the trial. And saves everybody. Then she hears the noises from the Salem 7, and she's like, hey, y'all gotta go. Everybody move on to the next trial. So of course she sends Billy, she sends Agatha, and Black Witch was like, look, I ain't going before you. You go ahead, I'm gonna follow behind you. And she was just like, nah, go. I got y'all. And it pushes her in there and closes the door. Of course, kind of sealing her fate in this position. And she even says it. She's just like, normally when you're on the witch's road and you pass a trial, it's not good to stick around for a long time. And she ends up flipping one of the cards, which ends up flipping the entire tower, causing the entire Salem 7 and unfortunately herself to fall on all the swords that were on the ceiling. And so I don't know how the Salem 7 works, so I don't know if that's going to necessarily kill them all together. That would be dope if it did. But I don't know if that's going to necessarily kill them all together. But I think she might be packed up out of here. But we didn't see a body. It kind of faded to black as she was falling. So I don't know if somebody saved her. I don't know if Aubrey Plaza's character Death saved her, or if she was waiting to collect, and maybe she's been collecting all the other bodies who died as well. So at this particular point, I don't know if these deaths are technically final that have been happening to Agatha all along, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were final, just based on the fact that Death was with him, and they've been kind of getting taken out one by one. And so it's we gonna see, I guess, in these next 2 episodes, if everybody's still really dead or if everybody gonna come back. I wouldn't be mad either way, because I like when shows have stakes and stuff like that. So it really would make me know, never mind either way. Long as Billy get his powers back officially and finds out what happened to Tommy, because I really want to know what happened to Tommy. We can find out. We're gonna find out eventually what happened to Wanda, so I'm not too pressed on that information. I would love to see it by the finale, but I wouldn't be mad if they didn't show it, because they're gonna continue the third part of the story in Vision Quest. So, like I said, I don't know if everybody's gonna remain unalived, but I'm interested to see where they go with these last 2 episodes. And for me, I'll probably give this particular episode, I'll probably give it, the episode ended with her with the screen fading to black as she was falling. So we didn't get to see her body, and we also, you know what I mean, she could have been saved, she could have disappeared. I don't know. But it ended with her. It faded to black as she was falling, and then it cut to her beginning her journey as a witch with her teacher in her original coven. So that it kind of hints at this being full circle for her, but at the same time, who knows? Who knows? We shall see. We got 2 more episodes left, so we shall see. For this particular episode, for this particular episode, I think I'm gonna give it. I think I'm gonna give it like a 9. I think I'm gonna give it like a 9.5. I'm gonna give it like a 9.5. I really enjoyed this episode, and I really enjoyed how it was structured. I love seeing things from different characters' points of view. I love that this particular episode, once Lily was reintroduced in this particular episode, we got everything pretty much from her perspective. I really like that. We got to really see what it felt like to slip through time, and just see her backstory and see where she came from. I just thought that whole aspect was dope. So I give it a 9.5. I don't feel like it was a 10 out of 10 episode, but I do feel like it was a strong 9.5. But yeah, let me know in the comments below if you agree with me on my rating, if you feel like I'm tripping, if you feel like I'm wilding, if you feel like I underrated it, if you feel like I overrated it. Let me know in the comments below. We can chop it up about the particular episode. Like I said, I really enjoyed this episode. So I don't see me having too much negative things to say about it, but I really enjoyed this episode. I'm interested to see where this particular series ends off. 2 more episodes left, so I'm really ready to get into it. And don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to share the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you can be notified anytime we drop a new video on the channel. And never forget, it's FreeSoul to the show free. Let's get it.